Captain Morgan's was also in position on the Marine base's tallest building, where his imposing presence exuded authority. When he declared, "If there is even a single scratch on my majestic statue, I shall consider it nothing short of an unforgivable act of treason." He did it with conviction and a voice that sliced through the air. He turned to face one of the soldiers and demanded an explanation. "And where is my useless son?" His eyes piercing through the soldier. "Why is he absent from such an important event?" "Captain, I have sent a team of dedicated Marine soldiers to retrieve your son." The soldier muttered as he trembled, and his body revealed his dread. "He will shortly be brought here by them." Captain Morgan said, nodding with a mixture of approval and frustration. He watched as the devoted soldiers lifted his soon-to-be unveiled monument, not taking his eyes off of it. His chest swelled with a sense of accomplishment as a wave of pride swept through him. The stillness was broken abruptly by the sounds of numerous gunshots echoing through the air. The troops were shocked by the sudden explosion of turmoil, and the rope holding the statue slipped from their grasp. The wonderful work of art fell to the ground and broke in two. The lower half stayed poised atop the structure as the upper portion crashed with a crashing thud. The spectators' mouths were gaping in shock as this occurred. Captain Morgan also remained still, his gaze glued to the fragments of his prized statue. His face contorted in hatred as astonishment gradually gave rise to raging fury. He moved quickly to get closer to the Marine who was nearest to him. The soldier's legs trembled as his terror grew as Morgan's rage grew more intense. He cried out in a voice trembling with desperation, "Captain Morgan, I beg for your mercy." Everyone was shocked by the abrupt sound of gunfire, which caused this tragic tragedy. But Morgan's rage persisted without abating. The soldier who went to speak was instantly killed by a single hit from him, ending his life. The lifeless body fell to the ground, signifying the cost of the captain's ferocious fury. Captain Morgan's was immediately made aware of the person entering the yard by one of the Marine soldiers at that same moment. "He appears to be the culprit behind the disturbance we have been experiencing." Captain Morgan's arrived at the scene without delay and saw a youngster casually strolling across the yard where Zoro was restrained, as if it were his very own private sanctuary. Captain Morgan's, fueled by a combination of rage and conceit, proclaimed, "Let's proceed quickly. How could he defy my authority and call into question my power? I will not allow any traitor to breathe." With that, Morgan's left the scene, followed by his dedicated soldiers, determined to put an end to the bold act of disobedience. A short while ago, Isshiki turned his attention to Nami after he had effectively eliminated the soldiers guarding the Marine base's entrance gate. "If you want to go to Morgan's office, it's on the second story, and the treasures are in the basement," he added in a forceful voice. Even though Nami was horrified to see the soldiers being killed so brutally, she couldn't help but feel a spark of excitement kindle within of her when she heard about the treasures. A few more Marine soldiers showed up on the scene just as this was happening. They asked, with bewildered looks on their faces and a tone of question, "Why are the two of you at this off-limits location? The guards who were tasked with guarding this entrance are also nowhere to be found." Isshiki and Nami were the targets of the soldiers' pointed firearms as they yelled for answers. Isshiki responded by casually saying, "Dead." In response, he immediately lifted his palms toward the warriors, calling forth black rods that appeared out of thin air. Each rod accurately hit its target, penetrating the soldiers' bodies and causing them to fall to the ground dead. As the dead warriors slowly succumbed to rot, their bodies turned to dust, leaving behind a mournful memento of their passing. An eerie silence filled the air. Isshiki then turned to face Nami and stated, "You go ahead and sound the ground floor emergency alarm first. Let the Marines know that because of an intruder, Captain Morgan's has ordered their urgent assembly in the yard." Nami acknowledged Ishiki's instructions with a nod of agreement and then continued on her way. Isshiki then entered the yard where Zoro, the pirate hunter, was firmly fastened to a wooden cross. Zoro couldn't help but interfere, saying in a firm voice, "Leave, this is not a place you should be hanging out in." When he caught sight of Isshiki, Isshiki responded with confidence while maintaining her composure. You must focus on your swords now because I am exactly where I am supposed to be. If not, you might never see them again when I finish destroying this marine base. Captain Morgans, who was leaving the building, was the focus of his penetrating gaze as he was being observed by his Byakugan eyes. Isshiki was also able to see the approaching group of marine soldiers thanks to his keen sense and Nami's previous emergency bell activation. Zoro was forced to admit the truth of Ishiki's comments as he took in his calm demeanor and unhurried gait. He realized that Isshiki was actually committed to destroying the marine base.